Hey, Braun, how you doing, man?
Not too bad yourself.
Doing great, man. Of course, coming up, we got WrestleMania Backlash. You're going to be in the WWE Championship match alongside Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley, qualifying last Monday. Kind of a crazy turn of events in the matter of days. How cool is it to be back in the main event of a pay-per-view for the World Championship?
Man, it's just solidifying what I've been talking about for months and months and months. The monster's back on the top of the food chain where he belongs. And, it's been a long, hard road to get back into the title picture and stuff like that. But I'm looking forward to it. It's a battle of titans. You got three larger-than-life human beings setting foot inside of a ring, and with a triple threat, there's not too many rules involved. So, with Braun Strowman, if it ain't bolted to the ground, and even if it's bolted to the ground, if it ain't bolted down good, I'm probably going to pick it up and use it as a weapon. So I'm really looking forward to it. Both those guys. This is a big fight. This is as big as it gets. In sports entertainment, there are no three larger athletes than myself, Drew, and Bobby, and I'm really looking forward to the battle of the Titans.
Well, like you said, this is no ordinary triple threat. This is, three of the biggest superstars in WWE right now between yourself, Bobby, and Drew. And specifically with them, you've had some of your best matches in WWE, I would say, with both Drew and Bobby in respective singles competition over the years. How cool is it to be sharing a ring with those guys, not just individually, but at this point, in a triple threat match on pay-per-view?
Bobby and Drew have been able to bring, even more of a monster out of me than anybody else has in the past and stuff like that. So, I know what they're both capable of. I know how devastating both of them can be with the Claymore and the Hurt Lock and stuff like that. Unfortunately, I've been on the receiving end of both of them, and I don't look to end up that way this time. If I get one of those guys up on the shoulder and running power slam 1, 2, 3, it usually goes that way. So, it's a numbers game, and at some point I have a feeling they're both going to end up trying to gang up on me, and it's, I don't blame them. Let's be for real. I'm a bad SOB. So, you got to do whatever you can do to try and put me down. But that's what I look forward to. I like fighting from underneath and stuff like that. It's a very rarity that I get to fight from underneath, being that I am larger than nature intended at 6'8" and 385 pounds and stuff like that. So I'm really, really looking forward to getting in there. And like I said, this is big fight field. This is big man chopping meat. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be tactical. It's going to be a war. It's three alpha predators fighting for dominance on top of the mountain.
Yeah.
It's King Kong meets Godzilla meets the Incredible Hulk. This is a show for the ages.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's a great way of putting it. Godzilla, Kong, and Hulk. That's a great way of putting it. Battle of the Giants, Clash of the Titans, as you said. Having been in the ring with both Lashley and McIntyre before in singles matches over the years, aside from yourself, obviously, being put in the equation, of the two, who would you say is the stronger superstar between McIntyre and Bobby Lashley?
And I don't know, honestly. At any given day, man, both of those guys, like I said, they've pushed me to the limits, and they're both very, very dominant athletes. I'm not going to give either one of them an inch on who's stronger, who's badder. They're both badasses, man. Let's be for real. Look at them. Drew McIntyre's 6'6", 275 pounds. Bobby Lashley's 6'3", 265 pounds. They're men. This is men going to war, and I'm really, really looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be a crazy triple threat. But let's go back a little bit. You mentioned the last year for you and how crazy it's been. Obviously you're in the WWE Championship match at the upcoming WrestleMania Backlash pay-per-view, but going back a year, you were the Universal Champion at this time a year ago, winning the title at WrestleMania from Goldberg, the whole feud with Bray and The Fiend. You were off TV for a little while, nursing the injury, being back on Raw. How crazy has this last year been for you with everything that's gone on?
Man, it's just wow. What an honor it's been through all this crazy stuff to be able to represent the company and, push forward through uncharted territories. It was a struggle to figure out and get everything and keep our show going last year at the beginning of this pandemic. It was a learning process for everybody, and being thrown right into the middle of the fire and, per se, taking the company on my back and doing my best to keep carrying it forward and things like that. It was an honor to do it. And, I feel like it was well well earned. You know, it wasn't one of those things like I don't believe I deserve anything. I believe I've earned everything that I have in my life, and I think that's why I've been in the positions that I am, and I continue to be put into the positions that I am. Is because, I mean, let's be real. You guys saw what I did this past Monday. I see the internet's going nuts talking about some record that I broke that nobody in WWE, WCW has ever done in the past, with wrestling a 2-on-1 handicap match, a tag team match, and then wrestling almost a 20-minute main event singles match all in one night. I mean, if that doesn't show you that I'm the Clydesdale of WWE, that you could hook your plow up to the back of me and I'm going to till your whole damn field, I don't know what else to tell you. So it is, man, just being able to go out there and continue to do what I do. Putting smiles on people's faces at the end of the day, that's what we're all about. And it's an awesome opportunity. Every chance I get to go out there in front of the WWE Universe, being back, having some fans at WrestleMania really, really lit a fire back up underneath me and stuff. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, that's what we do this for, man. The money, the fame, and all that stuff. The fame I hate, honestly. I'll be straight up with you. I hate. It's hard to go out in public, at my size and stuff like that. But hearing that audience, seeing the fans, seeing the kids, everybody, the emotions, taking them on this ride with us. I mean, that's what being a WWE superstar is about. It ain't about going out there and wrestling for 15, 20 minutes once or twice here and there. It's about being able to connect with people, being able to influence people's lives. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, we're all superheroes, and it's such an amazing opportunity in life and such an amazing job that I have being a WWE superstar. I just keep looking forward to whatever the company puts in front of me, with whoever it is, line them up, I'll knock them down, and let's keep rolling. The Strowman Express moves on.
Yeah, for sure, man. And I'm glad you brought up the fans and being back in front of a crowd at WrestleMania just a few short weeks ago. And Braun Strowman, the character's been through a lot over the last year. I mean, when we last saw you in front of fans, you were, a beloved hero. You had that dark turn for a little while during the Fiend feud last summer. You've been through a lot. So when you walk out in front of a crowd at WrestleMania, 25,000 people or whatever it was in Tampa, are you, having not been in front of a crowd for over a year, are you nervous? Are you thinking, how are they going to react to me? Is it a weird experience being back in front of fans for the first time in a while?
It definitely was. It was just crazy. I mean, I had to fight back tears. Honestly, I mean, it was just such an emotional thing of just being happy. It was just that feeling that I haven't had in so long. It's a drug. It's a drug coming out. I'm not even going to lie. There's no feeling on earth when your music hits and you walk out and the entire place throws their hands over there and they scream with you. It is such an addictive feeling. It is so amazing. And I'll be straight up honest. When I walked out, they blew so much CO2 smoke all over the stage when I came out. I couldn't see anything, so I froze because I was afraid I was going to walk off the stage. I mean, we're talking like a 15-foot drop. So I just stood there because I didn't know where the ramp was. I didn't know anything. I was like, all right. And I could hear the people rumbling a little bit because they knew I was somewhere in that smoke. And as that smoke dissipated, the crowd just came alive. And I've got goosebumps right now. My hair's standing up on my arms thinking about it. It was just, oh, man, it's just, yeah, that's why we do this. It reminded me why I continue to do this, why I love this, why I fell in love with this business, and why I'm going to continue to keep busting my ass to put smiles on people's faces, man. I love it. That's all there is to it. I'm a country boy with the coolest job in the world, and I'm blessed to be able to go out here week after week and do this. And, man, I look forward to every week. I mean, it's, like I said, going from wrestling 4 days a week to 1 day a week. For a while it was nice. The body liked it and things like that, but I miss the road. I miss the buzz. I miss the hustle and the bustle and all that. I mean, it's what I fell in love with. It's what I'm used to and things like that. And it's cool seeing that there's a little light at the end of the tunnel, and I think we're going to get back to traveling soon and doing things like that. So it's really, really exciting seeing what's moving forward, especially after the chaotic year that everyone's had.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think during this pandemic era, too, we've seen you get a lot more mic time on the shows as well, which is weird because you would kind of expect that during the fan era, but we've been hearing a lot more from you without the fans. Would you say you're more comfortable in front of the fans or not in front of the fans when it comes to, cutting promos without having anyone to really feed off of? Because I feel like in some certain circumstances it can be a benefit, too.
I think there's pros and cons to it, without a doubt. I mean, it's a little tricky sometimes, manipulating the crowd, especially when they're on their game trying to screw you up and stuff like that. Because, I mean, let's be for real, that's what it ends up being. They're trying to get us to mess up, and we're trying to get them to mess up, and it's a fun little game. But at the same time, doing the stuff without any audience there is either I feel is even more intimidating. I feel it's more intimate. There's more pressure because you can't hide behind the cheers and the boos of the crowd. You're there, and you forget a line, guess what? There ain't nobody to save you and stuff like that. And so I feel with having no audience there, it's an even more intimate of a feeling. It's a little bit tougher, like I said, because you're just constantly under that microscope of that red light of the live camera. So that's what I said. It's been a learning curve for all of us, and I think it's been good. It's been good for everyone. I think it's made everybody tighten their game up. It's made everybody work on their promos, and I think it's going to help out in the long run. I mean, the only thing that I think hurts with everybody is for some of the younger talent. I think it's just not getting the reps in with having our live events and stuff like that. So it's going to be a little tougher to cut your teeth in this industry right now if you're trying to make a name for yourself and things like that. But at the same time, it's been nice, just not being as beat up. Let's be for real. This job's very, very demanding on the body and stuff like that. So it's been kind of cool with that. And then having a little bit of time to take a step back and realize how blessed I am and how amazing I haven't even been doing this for 6 years. Mm-hmm. And in less than 6 years, I'm one title away from being a Triple Crown or a Grand Slam champion or whatever it is. I mean, in less than 6 years, I've been tag team champs twice, Money in the Bank, Andre the Giant Battle Memorial, Greatest Royal Rumble, Universal Champ, Intercontinental Champ. Now I'm in the title picture for the WWE Heavyweight Championship, and like I said, that's where I belong. I mean, I'm the main event monster. This is my show. When I go out there, I do what I want to do, and somebody has to pay the consequences. It's usually some poor soul looking across the ring at me.
And it's cool that we got to have you as part of WrestleMania, too, because like I said earlier, you were out hurt for a little while late last year. You came back in the Rumble. You disappeared again for a little bit until, re-emerging for the Shane McMahon storyline. Was that always the plan, to be facing Shane at WrestleMania? And I mean, obviously there was a story there going into the show, so it didn't really feel all that abrupt. But, there were rumblings. We might have seen you in the title picture months ago with Drew, and now we're kind of getting it now, which is cool. Was the Shane match always the plan as far as going into WrestleMania as far back as February?
It's been a seed planted for a while. Shane and I have wanted to do one for quite a few years now and stuff like that. I mean, behind the scenes, we have a pretty good relationship and stuff like that. And I mean, let's be for real, Shane's a lunatic. So I mean, that works great with my style because I mean, I don't go out there and think about anything. I just do it. So it ended up working out good and things like that. And that saying, I was in the title picture all last year, and it's sometimes fans are fickle and it's hard to keep them happy. And one minute they want you to be champ, one minute they hate you and they don't want you to be champ. So I was thinking of something, how can I stay relevant? How can I do something to better our show, help our product without being in the title picture? Because I feel like everybody always, everybody wants to be champ. Mm-hmm. Everybody wants to be in the title picture. And not always that's not what's best for our show. Sometimes you got to, take a step down and figure out how to fill in and, fill the gaps in that need to be filled in to make our product a whole. And that's what I felt like I needed to do at this time and point was take a step back from the title picture. How can I contribute to the show without being that main attraction like everything else is? It's time for these guys to shine. I mean, Bobby Lashley, freaking A, man, he's been doing this shit, pardon my French, for 20 years, and he's got an opportunity and he made the most out of it. Man, he's killing it. I mean, Bobby is a specimen of a human being. He's a stud in the ring. He's a stellar man, and he's earned everything that he's got. Same with Drew McIntyre. He's been around the world. These guys have, 20 years in the business. They've done it. They've seen it. They've earned the right to be at the top of the mountain. And now I'm coming back. At the end of the day, that's what we all want to be. Everybody wants to be the champion. Let's be for real. If you're wrestling for second place, you're wrestling to be a loser. So everybody wants to be on top of the mountain, and it's time to see who the king is.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. And one of the benefits of you being gone for a little while was that you came back in just incredible shape. And I think this might be the best shape that you've ever been in your entire career. And obviously you can speak better to that more than I can. But talk a little bit about your diet and what you've been doing since your time off and coming back on the road and coming back to the shows and whatnot. What's your diet been like to get in this great shape that you've been in right now?
Man, it's just been a consistency thing. I try to tell people, getting in shape and working out, it's only about 15% of it is done in the gym and on the treadmill and stuff like that. It's 85% mentally and your preparation in the kitchen and stuff like that. So it's just one of these things. I've always known how to eat and been done, but, you know, at the end of the day, like, let's be for real, that healthy eating isn't always the most tasty stuff. I mean, I like cheeseburgers and pizzas and cake and all that other things, but it was just, you know, buckling down and telling myself, hey, you can't have that, and just getting consistency. And it's not like, I always tell people, it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle. It's just changing. It's changing your outlook. Is like, now I mean, don't even know, these past, like, the last 2 weeks after WrestleMania, I've been going crazy because I buckled down so much. So I'll tighten it back down. But, you know, you get into a mental thing where you're not eating for taste. You're eating for nutrients. You're eating for what you know your body needs to continue to grow, continue to be healthy and stuff like that. And it was a big thing for me of a mental challenge as well, because I was going through some rough stuff in my personal life and wasn't happy with a lot of things. And, you know, I was just, one day I was like, man, I need to change some stuff. And what better time, you know, with having this extra time on our hands and things, to be able to buckle down in the kitchen, prep my food, you know, work with a nutritionist, work with a trainer and stuff like that, and then just get after it. I mean, it's just what it really is. I mean, I'm a big believer in, if you don't give up on yourself, the world won't give up on you. And yeah, it's just work. I enjoy it. It's something to do, to push myself, something different, and it's fun. It's really neat, especially too, to see the outreach and the feedback from my fans, family, friends, and stuff from around the world that also have seen this transformation, this weight loss stuff that I've done, and it's inspired them to live healthier. I mean, I have people sending me messages that have lost 100 pounds, 200 pounds, moms that said they completely changed the way they cook for their kids and all this other stuff because they want to have a healthier life, because they see how happy I am with this transformation and how much fun and more quality of life. It's not about how much life you have, it's how good of a life you have. And it's really neat that knowing that through my trials and tribulations and mental things that I deal with, and finding sanctuary in the gym and my nutrition, that I'm also helping other people do it. And I mean, at the end of the day, man, that's why we're human beings. It's like we lean on each other. That's why, I mean, that's why we're the superior race on the earth. At least I think we are.
Yeah, right.
But I mean, that's what, at the end of the day, I mean, it's having good friends, you know, and things like that. People in the industry. I'm very fortunate with my strongman background. You know, I know some of the top bodybuilders, nutritionists, and stuff in the world. So being able to pick their brains and learn stuff, because my whole life it's been, how many I need to get in all these calories. I need to pick this much weight up as I can, and it gets to a point where your body can only take so much of that. So now it's training and teaching the muscles to do different things. Plus, I don't have to be picking up cars every day like I used to with strongman and stuff like that. Every once in a while, I might lose my temper and flip one over and stuff, you know. But and now it's basically I lift weights because I need to look good naked, per se, you know. I used to run. I used to walk out of the shower and run past the mirror because I hated the way I looked. And now I take a second, I look at myself, and I'm like, damn, you did that. You look good, man. Congrats. And it's just a cool thing, you know. It's to be able to pat yourself on the back every once in a while, because you know that your hard work is paying off.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. That's what it's all about. That's awesome. One last quick question before I let you go. With Raw, you know, it's a difficult show sometimes compared to SmackDown and NXT with the formatting. It's a 3-hour show. Sometimes it can obviously be harder to, you know, come up with creative stuff and put stuff together, stuff like that. Now, having been on Raw, you've been on Raw for a majority of your career. What's one thing that you feel that right now the show is actually doing pretty well, that fans aren't giving enough credit to on Raw currently, as well as one thing you would like to see be improved upon in the future with Raw?
Oh, man. That's a tough question. I don't know, man. The boys and girls in the back, man, we all work really, really hard and stuff, and it's just, I don't know. Honestly, I'm just enjoying it's been a little chaotic and stuff like that, because everything's been all over, and, you know, people get sick and things change last minute, and part of me enjoys that. I'm not going to lie. Like, as much as I get worked up and stressed out, like, oh my God, the sky's falling. Yeah. Those days when it's like that and everything's chaos, when you go out there, and this past Monday's a prime example. Everything was crazy because people got hurt, people were sick, this and that, and stuff changes, and all of a sudden you're in 3 matches and you're an hour and 10 minutes worth of a 3-hour show, and you're freaking out. But when you get out there and you get it done, you hit a home run, it's such a satisfactory feeling of just like that sigh of relief, like we did it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's neat and stuff like that, you know, with the stress of being able to go out there and do it. And I don't know, man, I just, as far as changing the show and stuff like that, I don't know. I mean, we're firing on all cylinders. And I think it's just a lot of the stuff's just hard right now, and people are getting all fussy about stuff, and it's just because there's so much other things out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not like back in the 90s where it was like you had 2 wrestling shows on or the news. Now it's like you got the news, you got football, this and that, and blah, 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 and everything on your phone and TikTok and YouTube, and everybody's attention's just all over the place. So we're doing everything we can in our power, you know, to keep people's attention spans directed to us. I mean, let's be for real. How often do you watch live television?
Yeah. No, it's a good question.
That's
exactly.
Yeah, so it's a tough time right now with everything, with how technologically advanced everybody is in their phones and everything. So it's a challenge, and to be honest, it's a challenge for everything that's on television to try and draw live viewership and things like that. Because I'll be honest, I haven't even had cable in my house in the last decade.
That's crazy.
And I don't even want. I keep up with stuff. I will keep up with our show via our apps on social media and stuff like that. And so I think about that kind of things, and it's just, I think we're doing a good job, you know, with everything that's out there in the world at everybody's fingertips and things like that. Like I said, I think we constantly go above and beyond to do everything that we can to keep our viewers entertained and draw in new viewers, new demographics and stuff like that. It's neat seeing the crossover we had with WrestleMania, with having Bad Bunny coming out there, and what a performance he had. Like, let's be for real. Holy cow, did anybody expect that?
Yeah, I know, right? He just exceeded all expectations.
Dude, it tears the damn building, tears the roof off the place, and there wasn't even one on it. He built a roof just to tear it down and things like that. So it's neat, you know, crossing over and doing this stuff, and it's WWE. It's what we do, you know. We're the forefathers of so many things in entertainment. You look at so many other avenues in sports and entertainment that have stolen ideas from us and things like that. And that just goes to show you that we're doing our job and things like that. So at the end of the day, you know, I can't think of anything that I would want to change and stuff like that. That's what I said. I just enjoy the process. At the end of the day, too, man, it's my job. I go to work and they tell me what to do, and I go out there and I do the best that I can, and then hope for another opportunity a week later.
Exactly. That's all you can do, man. That's all you can do. Well, Braun, thanks a lot for the time. People can get you out on Raw every single Monday night and at WrestleMania Backlash against Drew and Bobby for the WWE Championship. Braun, this has been great, man. Thanks so much for the time. I appreciate it.
Cheers. Yes, sir. Thanks for talking.